Before we dive into this incredible story, make sure you're part of our journey. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and get ready for a story that will leave you thinking. And if you love inspiring tales, a like goes a long way. Nobody under 16 travels alone. The words sliced through the bus station like a knife, silencing conversations as heads turned toward the ticket counter. The young girl trembled, bruises visible beneath her eyes, fingers clutching a crumpled envelope of cash. Rain tapped against the windows of the downtown terminal, commuters pretending not to notice as the clerk's voice grew louder. The girl's whispered pleas dissolved into the hum of the vending machines while travelers averted their eyes, finding sudden interest in their phones or the scuffed floor tiles. In the far corner, a figure in a worn hoodie shifted, dark eyes tracking the scene from beneath the shadow of his hood. The man's hand paused over his coffee cup, watching as the girl's shoulders slumped with each rejection, her escape route disappearing with each passing minute. If this moment made you feel something, imagine what's coming next. Hit that like button and stay with us. Subscribe now. The girl couldn't be older than 14. Her oversized jacket hanging from thin shoulders, wet hair plastered against her pale face. "My grandmother's waiting," she pleaded, voice barely audible over the station announcements. "Please, I just need to get home." Her fingers traced the edge of a faded photograph poking from her backpack, an elderly woman standing before a small country house. The ticket agent's face hardened as she leaned forward, tapping a laminated sign. "Rules are rules. No minors without adult supervision. Next." She gestured impatiently to the growing line behind the girl. Someone muttered about schedules and delays while a businessman checked his watch with exaggerated impatience. A woman nearby pretended to scroll through her phone, the camera app quietly recording everything. Nobody stepped forward. "I can't go to social services," the girl whispered, a new urgency in her voice. Rain streaked down her cheeks, indistinguishable from tears. "They'll send me back to him." The last word caught in her throat. The clerk's expression flickered. A momentary hesitation, a glimpse of understanding, before professional detachment reasserted itself. "Not my problem. Policy's clear." She raised her voice, addressing the line. "Next customer, please." A security guard glanced over, hand resting on his belt. The girl backed away, clutching her small suitcase tighter, scanning the terminal with increasing desperation. Her gaze swept past phone cameras, past judging eyes, past the indifferent faces of adults who could help but wouldn't, until it locked with the hooded stranger's dark, intent stare. The hooded man set his coffee aside, movements deliberate, unhurried. Nobody noticed him stand, just another traveler stretching after a long wait. Nobody noticed him adjusting his worn backpack or catching the reflection of his own face in the rain-streaked window. Keanu Reeves had become skilled at moving through public spaces unrecognized when he wanted to. Tonight was supposed to be anonymous, just passing through, another face in the crowd. He hadn't planned on getting involved. The terminal's fluorescent lights flickered, casting harsh shadows across the girl's bruised face as she retreated to a bench, shoulders hunched protectively. She wiped her eyes with a sleeve, staring at the exit doors, calculating options that were rapidly dwindling. Outside, the rain intensified, drumming against the roof like a warning. The last bus would depart in 20 minutes. Things are about to take a turn. Don't miss what happens next. Subscribe, like our video, and keep watching. Keanu approached the counter, keeping his hood low. The clerk's customer service smile appeared automatically, then faltered at his deliberately obscured face. "Can I help you?" Her tone carried a new edge of suspicion. Around them, the station's ambient noise seemed to dim as he placed his credit card on the counter. 2 tickets on the next bus to Portland." His voice was soft, deliberately nondescript. The clerk's fingers hovered over her keyboard. 2? She glanced past him, searching for his companion. For the girl, Keanu clarified, inclining his head slightly toward the bench. The clerk's expression hardened. Sir, I just explained to her. We don't sell tickets to unaccompanied minors. It's policy. Her voice rose slightly, drawing attention from nearby travelers. It's for her safety. The irony of those words hung in the air, contrasting sharply with the girl's bruised face and frightened eyes. Keanu felt the weight of stares around him, the quiet judgment of bystanders who wanted no involvement. A security guard began drifting in their direction, radio crackling at his belt. Then I'll accompany her, Keanu said, his quiet tone carrying unexpected authority. The clerk paused, caught off guard. You're traveling together? Disbelief colored her voice. Nearby passengers were now openly watching, whispers circulating as someone recognized the man beneath the hood. We are now. The simplicity of his statement left no room for argument. The clerk's eyes darted between them, weighing policies against the growing attention. I'll need to see ID for both of you. The security guard hovered closer, hand resting on his radio. Keanu nodded once, then turned to walk toward the girl. Camera phones rose throughout the terminal, capturing the moment as his face became visible to the room. Recognition rippled through the station like an electric current. That's Keanu Reeves, someone whispered too loudly. The girl looked up as he approached, confusion and wariness evident in her posture. She shrank back slightly, years of learned distrust visible in the subtle movement. Keanu crouched down to eye level, maintaining a respectful distance. Hey, he said softly, speaking only to her despite the dozens of eyes now watching. I'm Keanu. What's your name? The girl hesitated, eyes darting to the exit, to the security guard, back to his face. Lily, she finally whispered. Are you really? He offered a small smile. Yeah. Listen, Lily. I can help you get home to your grandmother. I'll buy your ticket and ride with you if that's what they need. Lily's eyes widened, disbelief battling hope. Why would you do that? The station had fallen eerily quiet. Conversations paused as people strained to hear. Phones recorded from every angle, the moment already spreading across social media platforms. Keanu's answer came without hesitation, quiet enough that only those closest could hear, because everyone else is just watching. The weight of his words fell upon the crowded terminal, indicting every averted gaze, every person who had chosen comfortable inaction. A woman lowered her phone, shame coloring her face. The businessmen suddenly found their shoes fascinating. The security guard adjusted his collar, discomfort evident in his posture. This story is only getting deeper. What would you do in this situation? Comment below, and let's talk. The ticket clerk's voice cut through the silence. I'm calling my supervisor, this isn't protocol. She reached for her phone, fingers trembling slightly under the collective gaze of the terminal. An older woman stepped forward from the line, arms crossed. For heaven's sake, Martha, look at the girl's face. Her voice carried the weight of decades. Some protocols deserve breaking. More passengers moved closer, the invisible barrier of bystander apathy finally cracking. The security guard shifted uncomfortably, then made a decision. I can verify her travel, he offered, surprising himself. Company policy allows for employee discretion in cases of... He glanced at Lily's bruises, humanitarian considerations. Lily looked between these suddenly supportive faces, her hand unconsciously reaching for the photo of her grandmother. I just want to go home, she said, her voice stronger now. He said he'd find me if I tried to leave, but I couldn't stay anymore. The terminal had transformed, strangers now united by collective purpose. Keanu's presence had changed the equation, not just through celebrity but by being the first to simply act. "Call the police," someone suggested from the back. Lily's face paled instantly. "No, they'll just send me back. They never believed me before." A ripple of murmurs spread through the crowd. The terminal manager emerged from his office, drawn by the commotion. "What's happening here?" His authoritative voice cut through the noise. Before the clerk could explain, Keanu stood, turning to face him directly. Recognition dawned immediately in the manager's eyes. "Mr. Reeves?" The celebrity status that Keanu typically downplayed now became a tool for good. "This young woman needs to reach her grandmother in Portland. Tonight." His voice remained gentle but carried unmistakable conviction. "I'd like to escort her there personally." The manager hesitated, corporate policies warring with the reality before him. A battered teenager, a Hollywood star, and a terminal full of witnesses with recording phones. "We have procedures for unaccompanied minors, but..." A woman in nursing scrubs stepped forward. "I've documented her injuries," she said quietly. "As a mandated reporter, I can confirm these are consistent with abuse patterns." The manager made his decision, nodding once. "Process their tickets. Priority boarding." He turned to Keanu. "We'll need contact information for the grandmother to verify she's expecting her." Lily's shoulders sagged with relief as she quickly wrote down a phone number. The clerk, now transformed from obstacle to advocate, processed the tickets with efficiency. "The bus leaves in 12 minutes. Platform 3. Keanu thanked her with a nod, then addressed the gathered crowd. "Could we have some privacy, please?" His simple request carried surprising weight. Phones lowered one by one. The nurse approached, offering Lily a small care package from her bag. "For the journey," she said softly. "And my card, if you need someone to talk to." The security guard cleared a path to the platform. "I'll escort you both." As they walked, Lily looked up at Keanu. "Why did they all start helping once you did?" Her question held the wisdom that comes from hard-earned experience. Keanu considered this as they reached the waiting bus. "People want to do the right thing," he finally answered. "Sometimes they just need someone to go first." It's not over yet. The best part is coming. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. The bus pulled away from the terminal, wipers clearing sheets of rain from the windshield. Lily sat by the window, clutching her grandmother's photo while Keanu occupied the aisle seat, providing both protection and space. The driver had recognized him immediately but respected his privacy with nothing more than a nod of acknowledgement. As city lights began to blur past the rain-streaked glass, Lily's phone buzzed with a text. "My grandma's waiting at the station," she said, relief evident in her voice. "She's crying." The teenager's composure finally cracked, silent tears tracking down her cheeks. "I didn't think I'd make it out." Keanu offered her a packet of tissues from his pocket. "But you did. That took courage." Around them, other passengers pretended not to notice the celebrity in their midst, though occasional glances and whispers traveled through the bus. One young man approached hesitantly. "Sorry to interrupt, but thank you for showing us how to be better." Back at the terminal, something had changed. The video was already circulating, not just of Keanu's intervention, but of the collective response that followed. The ticket clerk found herself explaining to her supervisor how community safety sometimes required judgment beyond the rulebook. The security guard made a call to Portland police, alerting them to the situation with Lily's abuser. The nurse organized a collection among waiting passengers, gathering resources for a local shelter for abuse victims. Small ripples spreading outward. As the bus continued through the night, Lily eventually drifted to sleep, exhaustion finally claiming her. Keanu remained vigilant, fulfilling his promise to see her safely home. His phone buzzed with messages from his agent. The videos had gone viral, comments sections overflowing with reactions. But unlike the usual celebrity moments that captured public attention, this wasn't about stunts or scandal. The comments repeated one theme. This is what using your platform looks like. 3 hours later, the bus pulled into Portland. Keanu gently woke Lily as they approached the station. "Almost home," he said softly. Through the window, they could see an elderly woman pacing anxiously near the arrival area, her face lined with worry and hope. As the bus doors opened, Keanu stayed back, allowing Lily her moment. The girl rushed into her grandmother's embrace, their tearful reunion illuminated by the station's harsh fluorescence. Only after they had held each other did Lily turn, gesturing toward the bus. Keanu descended the steps, nodding respectfully to the grandmother. No words were needed. Her eyes said everything, the gratitude beyond expression. She reached out, briefly clasping his hand before drawing Lily close again. As Keanu walked away toward the taxi stand, his hood raised once more, a text message arrived from his agent. The world could use more quiet heroes. He smiled slightly, thinking not of himself but of a 14-year-old girl who had faced the hardest journey of her life. Sometimes the saved become the saviors, and sometimes the greatest acts happen when nobody is performing for the camera. Wow, what a story! If this moved you, imagine what else we have for you. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and let us know what you think.